Hello viewers, you are watching our weekly program Invest in Ethiopia. In this edition, we will be discussing the role of Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam in economic development of the nation. To discuss this matter, I joined by His Excellency Dr. Engineer Habtamu Tafa, Minister of Water and Energy. Till the end of our program, stay tuned. Doctor, thank you for your time and joining us.
Thank you as well.
First, would you tell us why the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam is cited as an illustration of Ethiopia's period of transition?
Yeah, thank you so much. As we know, long years back, Ethiopians have been demanding for fair and equitable utilization of their water source. So GERD is one of a symbol where really we could confirm what we can do as our plan, as our fair and equitable utilization of our resource. If you see now the current status, the situation in Ethiopia is really promising in a way that we are being exemplary in development of the economy in Africa and even for the globe. For that, we could show to the world how we are united enough to build such a big dam like GERD and other initiatives, of course, which has been initiated by His Excellency Prime Minister Dr. Abiy Ahmed. So in any nation, any country, to be economically stable and to say, okay, we are in good status, number one is energy. Unless we have energy, there is no way of making the life of our people better than that it used to be in the past. GERD is the one which is going to change this problem. So we can say it is a game changer. The dam is a game changer, and it is on the situation that Ethiopia is demanding currently. If we see the last 5 or 6 years, we have achieved significant development in all aspects of the economy. In agriculture, if we say, if we are self-sufficient in production, we don't have to only talk about the self-sufficiency. We have to proceed to manufacturing. We have to go for processing. We have to go for other alternatives. For that one, energy is the backbone. To have that energy, we have to have dam like GERD that can generate huge amount of power potential. So these days we are having really wonderful stage of power generation capacity because of the dam is available in this area. Once we have that power generation capacity, then in every corner of Ethiopia, mainly in the cities, where we can have option to attract investors to come in and work for that one. Not only for investment, but even for the betterment of our people. In the village, they may have small activities, like small micro enterprises, who need power at small level, at household level. For that one, GERD has significant contributions. Not only for Ethiopia, but even for our neighboring. It will be a tool for diplomacy, because this day we are exporting power to Djibouti, to Kenya, and to Sudan. They are relying on our power, on our electricity. GERD has significant role also for that one. Recently, Kenya has exported power to Tanzania by thinking they are getting sustainable power from Ethiopia, which means it's beyond even our neighbors. That's what we are doing. So in many aspects, GERD is the backbone for the current Ethiopian transition as an economy, a livelihood, and even for the diplomacy.
So what experiences do you think the nation gained from the construction of this mega project, the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance?
I think when we are talking of the dam or GERD, for Ethiopians, it means a lot. Number one is a symbol of unity. That is what we could show in building the dam. Everyone has contributions for success of the dam. That is one thing. Number two, even the way we built the dam is not in the normal situation. We remember the last 4 or 5 years, there has been serious problems in Ethiopia. Not in Ethiopia, but abroad as well. If we see the COVID case, the conflict in Ethiopia case, the issue in Sudan and Egypt, all these are add up as a big challenge. Then we could also sustain this kind of challenge and make it dam. That is resilience. So number one is unity, number two is resilience. The third one is even at technical level, we could have a lot of professionals who are capable of monitoring, supervising such kind of huge mega project. For example, the project manager is an Ethiopian, Engineer Kifle Horo, who has long years experience in other aspects as well. And his deputies and other experts are all experienced staffs, which means In any kind of power development, somewhere in Africa or abroad, they are the ones to be really sought by different contractors and the consultants in the future. The other very important one is also even how really we can manage a project in short time, how we can handle it, how we can process to go for construction of such kind of huge dam is a good experience for Ethiopia. As an institution, Ethiopia Electric Power is an institution that is capable to show of power generating with such kind of huge capacity, which means institutionally we are also getting more stronger, more experienced that we can share for our neighboring countries. At local level or at national level, once we build our dam, I think it will be very simple for us to go for other dams as well by mobilizing resources. Because on the unity side, on the resilience side, on the technical side, and the institutional side, the four of them, I mentioned them, are what we have enriched and what we have successfully accomplished from the Great Ethiopian Dam.
As you know, Ethiopia's water resources are reported to have been underutilized for generation, but the current government is striving to utilize it. What is its implication to utilize the water resources the countries have and to benefit the nation from it?
If we see this country, Ethiopia, we have three main resources in our hand, which we can easily manipulate or work upon that. Number one, manpower, which we have youngest, many people are there and what we have. Number two is land. Number three is water. Of course, we can have minerals and others which need investment to deal with them. So, if we have manpower, if we have land, if we have water, with a simple approach, if we connect them together, that is the beginning of real growth, real development. That is making us much better than that we used to be. That is where we are now. The last 4 or 5 years, nationally there has been initiatives. That is to say, we have to use our water. If we take the wheat campaign or initiative, which we have significantly achieved significant milestone. Today we are self-sufficient. For that one, it's not only for the rain-fed. Irrigation has significant contribution. So the water is number one to do for that one. Number two is energy, as I was mentioning earlier. Our population, not more than 54% is connected to power. So we have deficit of about 46%. Then we have to utilize water for that one. Naturally, we are gifted with the topography is appropriate, that is the way out. There is some critical point I would like to mention here. People say Ethiopia is water tower of Africa, which is literally not appropriate word. We are water tower in a sense that we are located on the mountain, that's all. But we don't have water. If we had water, why do we have people from Borana suffering every year with drought? Why do we have people in Somali region, in Afar, even here in East Shawa? We have deficit of water in many parts of Ethiopia. So for that one, there should be some mechanism of utilizing our water to change the life of our people. Of course, there are places there where we have sufficient rainfall, which is very good. But unless we store that, unless we keep that, we cannot sustain the life of people in the border only by getting water from one side, the rain from one side. So utilization of the water is the basic to change the life of people. It's not only theory, but practically we have seen the change. As I said, the wheat initiative successfully accomplished. And this day, the Lemat Rufat, or the way, the bounty of basket, everywhere people have been planting different kind of vegetables, fruits. If you see on Awash Basin, in Rift Valley Basin, around Maki, you see people are trying to strive to utilize water for agriculture, for onions, for potatoes, for tomatoes, which means there is now awareness among the farmers even, and among the investors to go for the water resource utilization for the betterment of the life. This is increasing to the availability of sufficient food or variety for the people. And then from a hydropower point of view, we are storing now a significant amount of water, huge volume of water beyond our dam, GERD, which is successfully and the capacity to store the whole water that we demand for that one. Once we are capable to do that one, again, we have sufficient capacity of generating our power our energy to utilize for the different purpose that we need for our work. So the water is the basic of all. So as I said, land, manpower, and the water, when we combine them, for sure, change is significantly easy. In Ethiopia, we are significantly proving that is being happen. Because this day, you see many graduates are working in the village. They have land, they go for irrigation, or they have some mechanism of any way to deal with the water resource, either surface water or groundwater. So that is the basic, and we are on the right move to utilize that one.
Okay, thank you, Doctor. We are talking about energy, especially about this renewable energy which Ethiopia is implementing. So what are the benefits the country is earning from implementing these renewable energies to fight against climate change? And what's expected from international community in supporting this initiative?
If we see why do we experience climate change these days? Really, developing countries like Ethiopia, we have no role to the problem to happen that. But the developed countries, where they had a lot of industries, they utilize their resources, and then they are polluting the international world, international community, For that one, the way we have to tackle it is two options. Number one is a strategy that we use for our development. We don't have to really maximize the problem by adding to the carbon emission, for example. For that, Ethiopia has taken initiative of developing green energy. Our energy is green, it is non-polluting one, it is renewable energy. Number one is hydropower, then solar, then wind. We can mention all of them. We do have about 60 million megawatt capacity of our energy that we can produce as a potential. All of them are renewable. All of them are green energy. That means Ethiopia is significantly contributing to the betterment of the climate, to the environment. So number one, what we should do is the power that we are generating at a local level, we are minimizing the carbon emission. That it will not contribute for any of the climate change. I better say to say very less of the climate change. Not only in Ethiopia, but we are also exporting to the neighboring countries, as I mentioned earlier, to Djibouti, to Sudan, and the South, to Kenya. And recently we are going to work on South Sudan. When we are exporting our energy, which is green, we are also minimizing the carbon emission of the neighboring country. That means in the region, in Northern Africa, that is what we are contributing. For that, Ethiopia should appreciate it. The globe, the world should appreciate what we are doing for that one. I think what we expect is there are different kind of organizations who are talking about climate change, how to tackle, how to work upon that, how to support initiatives. Ethiopia is number one now to take that share. This day, the international community, the global agencies who are working for really, if they are genuine enough for the betterment of the environment, Ethiopia is taking a leading role by generating green energy, by planting of more than 40 billion of seedlings, which has contribution again to the environment, not only in Ethiopia, but for our neighboring countries also, we are doing the same. So we expect more support from local partners. They have to appreciate what we are doing. The international community should say, GERD is not only for Ethiopians, it is for the region, it's for Africa, because the power we are generating from GERD is going beyond our country, beyond the region, even it's going to the South African part, which means we are contributing for carbon dioxide emission minimization approach that has to be recognized, and the world has to appreciate what we are doing.
Okay, as such, grand mega projects require guidance and contribution of scholars. What role are Ethiopian scholars doing in commenting and shaping the issue and awareing the international community?
I think the role of scholars or our elites who are abroad or in Ethiopia is very vital and very important. For that, really, we appreciate what they have been doing, which is so wonderful. The day when the downstream countries, Egyptians, try to provoke, try to blackmail our country in front of the international community, really scholars have been fighting to their best, irrespective of their political attitude. They have been saying it's a dam for development, it's a dam for hydropower, even not for irrigation. So they have been doing their best, and that is what we appreciate. And most of them, especially in the west part, in the US and in Canada, even in Europe, they do have forums. They do have different kind of platforms where they are going to tell, where they have been telling people about our dam, what the fact inside it, technically. That we appreciate and we say really wonderful. But it's not really enough. We have to make it more efficient and more addressing to different communities. If we see the way we communicate is only in English or Amharic, I think it is also good to address the Arabian, the Arabic-speaking areas in the Arab world in such a way that people can really understand the reality. We have not more than 2 or 3 people who are trying to speak the reality in the language that the Arab world people can understand. On that area, I think we have to work. The other one is also the platform matters. Do we have the media? Where can we get the scholars to speak on? There is a limitation there. Even in Ethiopia, the medias that we do have, they have to allocate appropriate airtime so that we can address in international language about the fact, about the scientific background. The universities in Ethiopia also, there are a lot of them are there who are working on the water and related issues. I think they have to work more also, because what we are doing now is proving there is some kind of limitation. Our ministry has launched before 2 years Water and Hydro Diplomacy Forum, which is really a wonderful idea, and we are conducting that twice per year. On that forum, it is very few universities who are participating. Today I call up on that. They have to trace about our calls, and they have to encourage their team as well to publish papers. Because when we talk about water, it is technical, which is hydrology, which is about groundwater, which is about environment, which is about hydrodiplomacy, which is about political science, which is about journalism. All these things are available in our universities. We have more than 45 or something like that university in Ethiopia. All of them have either of these departments, which I think need to think about and work up on that one. So the platforms were created, but they have to come on the platform and address the issue about the dam and also more of our water resource that we are having with our neighboring countries.
Let us talk about this Nile Basin Cooperative Framework, which is very important on this issue. So what is the current status of the Nile Basin Cooperative Framework, and what are the implications for countries that do not signed the agreement?
Yes, the current status is really on good status, we can say, because previously one of our challenges was the CFA. The Cooperative Framework Agreement was not signed by the majority. That is already done now. 6 of the countries have signed, approved. It is a legal background for our move. That's number 1. Number 2 is to go for the commission. We have to establish the Nile River Basin Commission based upon the CFA document. We have started to move on the planning of the roadmap, how we can make that one. Actually, it's already established, but we have to make it functional. That is the issue now. So planning the roadmap is as it is, but we have issues also to address. The remaining of the nations who not yet finalized the signing and the ratification. So we have given them time so that they can come on board. Still, we have to give more time, including for Egyptians, Sudan, Kenya, and the DRC, who we expect most of them are going to join the CFA and then under the River Basin Commission. They can be benefited. So we have given them time. Almost like 5 months is gone now, remaining like 4 months, which we have given them like 9 months to think about it. And the committee established as the basin level, who is trying to communicate them so that they can be on board, not to leave anyone behind. When we talk about the Nile Basin Initiative, we believe Ethiopians from Uganda and all we can say where we have significant amount of source of the water for Nile and for Ethiopia, we are all actively engaged, but the other remaining countries who have questions and who have their own issues should finalize that one and be part of the system. For that one, we are giving more time. That time is like 4 or 5 months is remaining. Once that is done, the Nile River Basin Commission will be functionalized in the presence of head of states. of the Nile Basin countries that is to be called by Uganda. By that time, it will be addressed that way. But parallel to that one, we are moving on some activities that has to be done before launching for it.
So if the agreement is once declared binding by the AU, will there be any chance of reversing it?
No way. Because, one of the success for us is agreement. CFA has already nullified the colonial time agreement that the Egyptians always take a slogan to say our water right and water right. On that agreement, it gives them the hydro hegemony, which is almost they have to use the water, which forget us about Ethiopia. While we are contributing significant amount, but almost we can say all of it is for Ethiopia, but that gives nonsense for us. But the CFA has nullified that treaty, and that is now on the fair and equal opportunity for everyone, even including the Egyptians, by the way. They are number one to be benefited from the CFA. If you ask me why, on the agreement there are issues that has to enforce each member state to build the watershed issues and then to invest on the catchment issues. The downstream countries, they don't have any contribution to Nile, where they have nothing to contribute for that one. But for us, we have contributing significant amount of water, and then we have to invest on the watershed management, on the watershed treatment, as we are doing with the Green Legacy Initiative, which means a lot for water sector that we are talking about. So no one can reverse the agreement. The only option they have is to come on board and be the member of that one. I think they are aware about also, because before the agreement, they ignore our annual meetings at all. They don't come, even for the Council of Ministers. This day, they are actively coming, even though they want to disturb, they want to provoke people to speak something which is inappropriate. They are engaged. Before a week, we had the 19th Nile-Day celebration here at Addis Ababa. The minister was here. His team are here. We are here. Then they were engaged. Before like 3 or 4 months, also he was in another country, which they are now forced to come on board and settle their issue. That is the only way they have.
What is the policy direction from Ethiopia in utilizing its water resources from its development ambitions?
Actually, we have our water policy, which is very excellent, and we have been working upon that one. Now, currently, we are revising still with some amendments on the policy issues and the strategies that we have there. So, the direction we have is we believe water is the backbone for development in Ethiopia. So, we have to conserve our water, we have to save our water, and then we have to utilize that. That is one of the points we have there. The other one is in our basins, in our river basins, we have about 12 of them, where 3 of them have almost no water, but the other ones are with water, either groundwater or surface water. In these river basins, we need to have the river basin plan, what has to be done, and how it should be addressed. That is also what we have already implementing. The third one, very important, even though it's not a policy, but the way we implement is we are going to establish the National Council of River Basins Council, which means all regional presidents will be the president for the member. That is to be chaired by the Prime Minister or His Excellency the Deputy Prime Minister. That we are going to have how we can sustain our water, how we can manage that, how we can use that one for equitable and fair utilization even among regions. Now the issue is we talk about among countries, right? But in few years, Ethiopia, we are going to face significant problem even among regions, among zones, even with the region as well. So our policy is on all these options we are moving on.
Finally, if you have any message to add, you are welcome.
Thank you so much. Just 2 points actually, better to say. Number one is about conserving our water. We say people, water is life. It's true, water is life. But water needs life for itself. How we can make life for our water? Number one is to go for conserving of available water in the rivers, in the lakes, and groundwater, wherever we have, which is very important. When we go down to small scale, we have to even save in our house also, in house connections. You see people are just wasting water in their buildings, in the yards. on the way when water abstracted from the river or groundwater and then we distribute to individual house. We see a lot of leakage and a lot of damage. That has to be handled, to be addressed. The final point is in the utilities in towns, I think people should own about the water governance. Now our challenge is people say, okay, we don't have water in Adama or in Addis or somewhere. Why we don't have water? Because there are some illegal connections or vandalism that people are practicing in the system, or people are not paying appropriate tariff. If people own, all this problem can be handled, and I wish everyone will be on board and get involved to govern our water system and save whatever we have. That is my message.
Thank you. Dr. Engineer Habtamu Tafa, Minister of Water and Energy, thank you for your time and a deep insight on our program.
Thank you so much.
Dear viewers, you have been watching our weekly program, Invest in Ethiopia. That's all what we have for this edition. See you next time with another program. Till then, bye-bye. Take care.